power goes up on this landmark hotel.
San Francisco's pioneer television station.
The call letters KPIX were short for pictures, as we brought the very first ones into local living rooms.
From wherever the news happens.
The signing of the Treaty of Peace with Japan.
And along with the Bay Area, we've been innovating ever since.
KPIX has arranged for this first live telecast of open heart surgery.
You ever seen this little gadget?
We call it the Live Eye Van.
This is kind of the first computer of the 1990s.
Virtual reality is past its awkward teenage years.
Hi, my name is Pepper.
But like all great pioneers,
and this is your PIX Now update.
We keep moving forward.
The view from Sky.
This is your PIX Now update. I'm Ken Bastida.
And I'm Elizabeth Cook. Here are some of your top headlines.
New details on the City of Oakland's federal antitrust lawsuit against the Raiders. The team has now rescinded a rent offer for the 2019 season to play at the Coliseum. That means the Christmas Eve game against the Raiders will likely be their last at the Coliseum. Just a little while ago, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said the Raiders must decide on a new home for 2019 in the next month or two.
It's simply about trying to make the schedule to get confirmation. I know Mark has expressed that he'd like to be in Oakland, and we need to do that for scheduling purposes. That's really the timing. So I'd probably say early January, February.
The City of Oakland filed the federal antitrust lawsuit yesterday against the Raiders, the NFL, claiming the impending move to Las Vegas is a breach of contract.
A rooftop rescue in San Lorenzo has freed a man who may have been trying to rob a restaurant and wound up stuck for 2 days. KPIX 5's Wilson Walker talks with a neighbor who made the unbelievable discovery.
So this, I believe, might be the hat of the individual who was pulled out of the grease duct. You can see the condition of said grease duct there, but I think almost more spectacularly, look at the scale of the vent that this individual was trying to make their way through. They were there for about 2 days, and this all might have been much worse had it not been for a gentleman working next door.
But for like 45 minutes, I keep hearing this, I'm not like, what the heck is going on?
It all started when Igor Campos heard those noises coming from the Chef Kwong restaurant, so he decided to walk around back and check things out.
You know, so I'm looking at it, and asking questions. It's like, please get me out, I'm 28 years old, you know, I need to just get out.
So in came the Alameda County Sheriff's Department and Fire Department.
They determined that we had an individual stuck in the vent system of the hood and duct above the stove.
From there, the 30-minute job of removing the man. Campos saw him when he was finally brought out.
I saw him, he was like really, you know, his body was full of grease and everything, so it was, his shoulder was dislocated.
Now, we asked the rescuers whether or not the man who found himself in that ductwork said how he got there.
He did not.
Now, we spoke with the Alameda County Sheriff's Department. They say the man is in good condition considering what he went through. As for what charges he might face, anywhere from trespassing to perhaps burglary if they can put that case together. But again, had he spent much time in there, this situation could have been much worse. In San Lorenzo, Wilson Walker, KPIX 5.
Well, it's day 3 for striking Kaiser Permanente mental health workers, and now nurses have also joined the strike. creating the domino effect of canceled surgeries.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we have to do this. Hopefully they will come back to the bargaining table and they will settle a lot of this, and then we can get back to work. Yeah. You know, I don't think anybody really wants to walk out on a patient, especially nurses.
Well, today, picket lines expanded to 14 locations across the state. The union representing therapists and social workers wants more staffing for Kaiser's clinics. They say there's only one clinician for every 3,000 patients. The strike is set to go on until Friday.
New details now on the woman killed in the hit-and-run crash in San Francisco's Nob Hill neighborhood this morning. Police have identified her as 58-year-old Teresita Collins. The crash happened about 3:30 on Leavenworth and Bush Streets. The driver still has not been caught. Witnesses say the suspect's car was last seen going north on Leavenworth. Police also released surveillance video showing the driver. You can see a small dark-colored car driving up and then stop right next to a parked SUV. The driver, who police believe is female, steps out of her car, then gets back in and then drives off. Anyone with information on the incident is urged to call SFPD.
British Prime Minister Theresa May will hang on to her job. She survived a confidence vote in Parliament just about 2 hours ago.
The result of the ballot held this evening is that the parliamentary party does have confidence.
May still faces tough opposition from some within her own Conservative Party who do not like her plan for Britain's withdrawal from the European Union. They'd like to see an even more independent UK after Brexit. Meanwhile, in France, authorities continue to search for 29-year-old Sherif Chikat. He is suspected of opening fire at a Christmas market in Strasbourg. Police describe him as a suspected religious radical with a police record in France and Germany. Officials say that Chikat was wounded in a gunfight after the attack last night, but fled the scene. A top official says that he might have escaped across the border into Germany. The shooting killed 2 people. One was left brain dead, and at least 13 others have been wounded in the attack. As the hunt for Chikat resumes, Paris is beefing up its security today. Armed soldiers were seen patrolling the Champs-Élysées in the early morning hours. Right now, 5 people have been detained in connection with the shooting, except for Chikat. And the Christmas market in Strasbourg is closed today to pay respect for the victims. Flags all over the city have been lowered to half staff. And in another tribute to victims, Paris's famed Eiffel Tower went dark tonight at midnight local time.
President Trump appears to be tying yesterday's terror attack in France to his border wall, tweeting, quote, "We are going to strengthen our borders even more. Chuck and Nancy must give us the votes to get additional border security." This comes one day after things got heated in the Oval Office, when Mr. Trump threatened to shut down the government if he doesn't get funding for his border wall.
If I were him, I would stick to my guns, because what he's asking for is eminently reasonable.
I think we all concede we're further away than we were maybe before the meeting.
Hundreds of thousands of government workers will be furloughed if Congress does not pass the spending bill by the 21st. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said he is counting on Christmas magic in order to avoid a shutdown. Meanwhile, this morning in New York, the president's former personal attorney was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. Michael Cohen had pleaded guilty to tax evasion, making illegal hush money payments on behalf of Mr. Trump, as well as to charges from Robert Mueller's office for lying to Congress. Cohen once said he would take a bullet for his boss, but once he flipped, President Trump called him a weak person and a liar. Inside the courtroom, Cohen fought back tears, apologizing for crimes he committed. He had hoped to avoid prison in exchange for his cooperation with the government, but the judge said his assistance does not wipe the slate clean. Cohen is ordered to surrender to authorities in March. The ATF is offering a $25,000 reward for help catching the thieves behind a string of Nevada gun store robberies. Some of the weapons ended up here in the Bay Area. The break-in started back in August back in Reno. 3 more followed, including 2 at the same shop in Sparks. Police say some of the guns made their way into the hands of gang members in Vallejo. Surveillance cameras captured the men smashing through the front door with a sledgehammer. In all 4 cases, they got into the store the exact same way. The thieves made off with a total of 157 firearms. Sparks police released these pictures of the suspects. The person seen in black and white is believed to be the same person. They also released a picture of the suspect's vehicle, believed to be a dark-colored Dodge Journey.
Damage and destruction from last month's devastating wildfires are creating new problems. Today, California's insurance commissioner said that claims already total $9 billion, and they're expected to rise.
It's $9.05 billion, just slightly over $9 billion. However, we know this number is going to climb as people get more access to their former neighborhoods, as they amend their claim, as they provide more information to their insurer with regard to the magnitude of their loss.
Well, the insurance industry is bracing for payouts exceeding the $12 billion paid to victims of last year's wine country wildfires, and that is a current record.
I don't know about you guys, but out about today, everybody was doing their shopping. Everybody was trying to get to and from before the holidays.
It's a little busy out there.
A little busy, but
yes.
It was pretty outside.
Yes, at least it's pleasant while we're all waiting in line, searching for a parking spot. Doing something outdoors. Yeah,
Yes.
the weather's pretty fantastic. It has been very pleasant, and we do have some balance coming because we had a lot of dry weather this week. Some rain is moving in on Friday, a bigger bit coming up on Sunday. It's mild out there. The average highs are the mid-50s. We are in the mid-60s. Concord and Oakland. Let's get right to Futurecast. We roll through the day tomorrow, which will be another sunny day, minimal morning fog, sunshine throughout the day Friday morning. Here comes the cloud cover. Friday afternoon, very thin band of some light rain, but it's the timing. It's not high impact for quantity. It's high impact for timing. 5, 6 o'clock, getaway time. The week's wrapping up. Lots of folks on the roads, and that's when that light rain will be working through. Then that front is just going to kind of meander over the North Bay, and an isolated shower is possible even Saturday in the North Bay before the bigger storm comes in on Sunday and Sunday night. Overnight lows in the 30s tonight. Concord, Livermore 38, Napa 37. That will likely promote some inland valley fog. San Francisco 47 degrees. Highs tomorrow. It's going to be warm in the Santa Clara Valley. Up to 65 degrees in San Jose, 63 in Redwood City, 60 in Pacifica, 60 in Napa, 58 in Vallejo with sunshine. We'll talk more specifics about those 2 rain chances coming up at 5. For now, that's your PIX Now forecast.
All right, Paul, thank you. Well, very appropriate for this time of year. Today is National Gingerbread House Day. The holiday tradition of decorating gingerbread is a favorite thing to do, and the more candy, the better. Gingerbread was originally used in religious ceremonies and even molded into images of saints. So enjoy the day, explore your creativity, and go chase the gingerbread man. Well, we know that people talk in their sleep, they walk in their sleep.
Have you ever sent a text while you were snoozing? Researchers at Villanova University say a growing number of college students are texting in their sleep, and they don't remember doing it. More than 25% of the students surveyed say that they're guilty of that habit. I guess because their friends say, hey, look what you did last night. Most of the time, what they text during the night is just gibberish.
I'm Dennis O'Donnell at Oracle Arena. Warriors and the Raptors tonight in what some believe could be a preview of the NBA Finals. Now, Toronto comes to town with the best record in the NBA. In fact, they beat the Warriors just 2 weeks ago. But there's something a little different about tonight's matchup. Steph Curry and Draymond Green were both out for the first matchup. The Warriors have won 4 of 5 since Curry returned. He hasn't missed a beat, averaging 31 points per game while making the Warriors look like the Warriors again.
A lot has changed with our team. Having Steph and Draymond back now, this gives us our full team. We're looking forward to seeing how we can build some momentum, especially after the last 4 wins, and see if we can take it into tonight.
He's good at basketball. I don't know what to, you get asked that every day. I don't know how to answer that anymore. He's just, nothing he does surprises me. I guess I could say that.
Meanwhile, we have a moon landing update. Stephen Curry now admits he was joking 1,000%. So that mystery has finally been solved. As for Kevin Durant, he's sort of staying out of the social media frenzy.
How about the moon landing?
I don't know.
Really? You're up in the air?
Yeah, I don't know.
You haven't seen the footprints and the tape and the moon rocks?
Next question.
At number 4, don't tap on the glass. A fan at the Avalanche game shatters the glass by the penalty box. They should have given him 2 minutes himself in the penalty box. At number 3, last week, USS Frankie Ferrari enjoyed some popcorn from a fan before getting back on defense. Now, the Dons wanted to make sure their point guards remains well fed. They're offering free popcorn at the Hilltop tomorrow night. At number 2, Hunter Pence's dugout pep talks were legendary. Now he's using them with his new team in the Dominican Republic, even if there's a minor language barrier.
Un juego muy importante. Y nosotros, I don't know how to say, played very good. But hey, Christian Adames, sick play. Saved a big run right there. Teos, Scarpito, Bryant switched the momentum. How do you say momentum in Spanish? Momentum, baby. Hey, bring that momentum tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Let's go. Thank you.
And at number 1, Kawhi Leonard has led Toronto to the best record in the NBA. Fortunately for the Raptors, he's a much better basketball player than comedian.
What's the first thing an elf learns in school? The alphabet.
Kawhi Leonard. By the way, we do not know if Kawhi Leonard is going to take the court tonight, and we'll find out probably about 6 o'clock. So we'll be out here live at 6:20 for an update on that. That is the latest in Bay Area sports. Warriors and Raptors tonight at Oracle. I'm Dennis O'Donnell, back to Elizabeth and Ken in the studios. Guys?
I love that joke. I'm going to tell it to everybody I know. Love it.
All day.
Thanks, Dennis.
We stream our KPIX 5 News at 5 o'clock every day on CBSSF.com, and we'll be back in less than 60 minutes.
PIX Now News is sponsored by Chevron, proud to support STEM education in the Bay Area.
Meet our STEM standout, Luciano Del Rio.
Team 841 is Richmond High School's robotics team. What it is an after-school program that teaches Richmond High School students about STEM.
Luciano encourages us to really think outside the box to approach a problem.
Luciano's story is important because he comes from this